I believe that privacy is a right, not a privilege. What any of us do with our money is our own business, and this is one of the reasons why Bitcoin originally took off in the first place. And the primary competitors in this space are Monero, Dash, and Zcash. I will do videos on these in the future. If anyone wants that, just let me know in the comment section. But I'd like to preface this video by saying I do not currently have any Monero, any Zcash, any other privacy coins, so I have no financial motive to make this video. In fact, if anything, I stand to lose many opportunities since Dash is one of the largest sponsors for cryptocurrency YouTube channels. I realize that calling someone a fraud or a scam is a huge accusation, and I don't take this lightly. I've done tens of hours of research before I made the decision to make this video. It surprised me that no one else has, since Dash is currently 7th highest in the market cap with $5.5 billion. So here it is, a brief history of Dash. So we need to start at the very beginning. On the 29th of December 2013, Evan and his partners sent out an email to the Bitcoin dev mailing list, saying that he and his partners were looking to hire 1 or 2 developers to help with a for-profit startup, and they had a detailed plan on how to implement it. This is important because Evan's official response claims that he coded up by himself on a weekend with no future plans on the project and that it was just a hobby. This is false. On January 18th, Evan posted his coin, now called Xcoin, to the Bitcoin Talk forums to get the project started. Immediately there were some problems. It's worth noting that there was almost no information available on the coin, so there really wasn't a reason for many people to mine it unless you just mined a whole lot of different coins. And to the community's surprise, Evan had made this coin only mineable on Linux, locking out the majority of miners since 90% of computers run Windows. Evan also told the community that the release was going to be delayed for days and definitely not hours, and that he would update everyone beforehand. Evan then surprised everyone a couple hours after stating that with the coin launch, during the late night when no one could expect it. There were also some serious issues with the software he released for the public, and the people in the community had to fix it while Evan was busy mining. And then we get to the Insta Mind. This is probably the most controversial part in the whole deal. There was a bug, using quotation marks, there was a bug in the code that created a massive Insta Mind. Within the first hour, 500,000 coins were minted. Within 8 hours, 1.5 million coins were minted, and before the bug was fixed, 2 million coins were insta-mined. Evan claims that this is not an issue because hundreds of people were mining during this time. But if you follow and look at the nodes he listed, out of 127, 27 were actual people with actual computers, and 100 of them were rented cloud computers, and somebody pre-set up these to mine. You can follow the IP addresses yourself, the who is. So who would have the foresight to rent 100 cloud computers to mine a worthless coin at a time that no one was expecting it, and when it did, it wasn't even functional? And then we get to lowering of the cap. At this point, the pre-mine was 2 million coins out of a possible 84 million, so about 2.5% of the maximum coins that could ever be. Soon after, Evan decided to rebrand again, and this was the third time, from Darkcoin to Dash, changing the total supply from 84 million to 18 million. And every time I've ever witnessed a coin change their max supply, the existing coins are changed in proportion to the max supply. As an example, if there are 20,000 example coins out of a possible 100,000, and they decide to rebrand to lower the max supply by half, there's now 50,000 example coins, and they change the existing 20,000 to 10,000 with double the value. This did not happen with Dash. The existing coins did not change, so the pre-mine that was 2.5% of the max supply turned into 11%. And keep in mind that as of today, 4 years later, there are only 7 million Dash, so nearly a third came from this Instamine. And then that comes to the Masternodes. A Masternode is a node that requires 1,000 Dash to be locked away. These Masternodes all vote to make changes and decisions. And at the same time, the block rewards were restructured. So instead of the block rewards going to the miners, like most coins in Bitcoin, now 45% go to the miners, 10% goes into a community fund, and 45% is split between the masternodes. This is a massive change because the majority of the masternode coins come from the 2 million Premine. And now they receive 45% of all new coins minted. This makes the Premine coins produce more currency than a Dash mining farm could ever produce, the largest one, with none of the equipment cost, with none of the electricity cost, with none of the heat, none of the troubles. I believe that they planned it. They knew that the code bug was there, and that's why they put such a difficult barrier to entry in mining. I also believe that him and his team also rented out the 100 cloud servers to mine, and probably a portion of the 27 actual computers that were mining were also Evan or his teams. You can look on the forums. It was very few people were actually contributing, actually taking place in it. I do not think that all of the masternodes are Evan's. I believe that a large portion of them are. You would not need to have all of them. You only need a large portion. So let's just assume that he has half the masternodes. So let's do a little math here. So if you have 2,500 coins per day, and you have 45% of that, and let's just say that Evan has half of the masternodes. I think that's fair to assume. So if you divide that by 2, you come out to these masternodes receiving 562.5 Dash per day. Dash is worth around $730. So assuming he has half the masternodes up, will come out to a total of $410,625 per day. I think with the evidence and the history, I think it's pretty obvious. But I advise not to take anyone's word for it. Do the research, look at the proof, look at the records, look at the addresses, look at the distribution. One of the addresses, just one of them, from the Premine up until 2016 held 600,000 Dash. Nearly 10% of the coins in existence today before they're redistributed. And I think it's obvious that that was probably Evan's address. I expect to get some backlash from this. There are a lot of people that are into Dash, just like there are a lot of people into BitConnect. And no matter what is in their face, no matter what you see, the evidence, people will always defend a coin no matter what. And I've seen a couple of the arguments, just going to go ahead and answer some people might put forth. The main one I see is Evan asked the community if he wanted to airdrop everyone tokens to make up for the Premine, and they voted not to. That's true, but Evan offered to airdrop 2 million coins that were instantly created and just produce more of the supply. He would still have his initial 2 million from the Premine. But everyone said, nah, that would fuck shit up even more, and no one's going to use it anyways. He did not offer to start over, which he could have done as soon as he saw the bug, would have been the obvious thing to do, but he just let it keep going until it was over. He also could have forked off the coins to make these Premine coins not valid. And he never did. He only offered to airdrop to mess it up more, and of course the community said no. If it's a scam, he would have sold out his coins for millions and ran off earlier. No, because his masternodes produce more coins than he could ever possibly use and makes more masternodes, and he gets that without selling his holdings, with keeping his majority and his voting rights and position, and it's way more profitable. You also see a lot of people claiming that it's exactly like Bitcoins, that Satoshi Insta Mind the coin, and that's why he owns over 1 million. That's not true. It took nearly a year to mine 1.5 million Bitcoin, not 8 hours. And these Bitcoins do not receive any of the block rewards for just sitting there. Satoshi has never moved these coins, and it's very doubtful that he ever will. So tell me what you guys think. I'm putting all of the information I have in the description, all the links that I could find and that I have, all the information. If you like this kind of video, let me know. subscribe, give me a like. If you really like it, I have some donation links in the bottom to some of my wallet addresses because it is doubtful that Dash is going to sponsor my videos in the near future.